Hey guys, I'm April from Giggle Glitter Graphics, and welcome to part 5 of Written in Ink. This is a free 8-part journal making series that tells the story of a writer who is experiencing a serious case of writer's block and has a deadline approaching. Their mentor reaches out with a little assistance, and that is when the magic happens. This is a free project series that is going out to my email list, so each Friday I'll be sending a new part of the story and guiding you through building the interactive journal pages. If you're not on the email list and you'd like to join us, just use the link in the description down below to sign up, and you'll get parts 1 through 5 sent to you immediately. So let's go over the supplies you need for part 5. They are exactly the same as the last few parts. You're going to need a liquid glue with a fine point. I like vegan Fabri-Tac. If you want to use a glue stick, that's totally fine. You can use it for a couple of things in this part. I like Oohoo for my glue stick. You'll need scissors to cut everything out. And you might like to use vintage photo distress ink. I use this on the edges of everything except for this piece here and this piece here. I'm going to be tearing the edges on these pieces today, so I'll wait and put the ink on after I do that. For printing, I use 110-pound cardstock and 32 pounds paper. 2 of the pages are on cardstock and 1 on paper today. And then you're going to have a backer paper that is going to be printed on the reverse side. And the page with this dining room scene on it, that will get the backer paper printed on it. And then optional is to print the backer paper on the paper page so that the back of your journal entry is finished. Remember that I do mark whether to use paper or cardstock and whether you should print on the opposite side on each page. So look on those pages for the instruction. So let's get started today. I'm going to move everything out of the way and get my journal. It's starting to get a little fluffy. And let's turn to our next blank page. And we're going to start with a big pocket, but this pocket has kind of a twist. So I'm going to use this Gothic kind of library scene panel, and we're going to use that as a pocket here, but it's going to have a flip up attached to it. So this flip up does have a tab, and I recommend folding this back and forth about 4 to 6 times so that it moves nicely. This is going to help it lay flatter whenever it's closed. So I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac, and we want to glue the tab right over the top edge of our panel so that when it flips up, it reveals this second scene. So it's going to go like that. So when you look at the back of it, your tab is going to hook over and glue down to the top. So I'm going to push these together, the left and the right. And I am just going to run a bead of glue right across here and press that down. The next step is to attach this directly to our page to make a pocket. Now, the items that are going to go into the pocket are not as tall as the pocket is. They're shorter than the pocket, so we don't want them to fall all the way down in and totally disappear. So that means we're going to want to put our glue at the bottom much higher than we normally would. So normally I would just glue 3 sides on the back, of course. But this time I'm going to glue all the way up to where kind of this delineating line is. This is not a fold. This is just kind of a placeholder because a pocket goes on top of here. So we're going to glue all 3 sides, leave the top unglued, and then we're going to come back in and scribble a little glue about where that black band is. That's going to make our pocket shorter, but still keep the visual height that we're going for. And I'm going to put this just above the bottom of the page and line it up on the right hand side like so. And there's just a little strip of tan from my background. Next, let's go ahead and put that pocket on. It doesn't matter which way you put this on, but we're going to glue 3 sides the same way we did with the other one, but we're going to keep it thin this time. So glue 3 sides and then line this up with that print, that panel we just glued down. So now we've got a pocket underneath our flap. Now let's jump to the top of the page, and we've got a row of books here. And let's go ahead and tear this like we have in the past. You can tear this any way you like. I think I'm going to make a U shape out of this today and leave the top flat, and I'll just line that up with the top of the page. So I'm going to do something like this so that it's all rough and kind of hanging down. And I'm going to grab my distress ink and give that a little dab. And a glue stick will work fine here. I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac really quick and give that a scribble. Remember that you probably want to glue things down in general very well. Here, I like to have a little lift around the edges sometimes for some extra texture, but that's up to you. But sometimes you might see me gluing very quickly, and that is because it's for tutorial purposes. So here we have our text. The walls rose into towering bookshelves filled with leather-bound volumes, and a grand chandelier flickered above, casting golden light over dark wood. So this is going to be our descriptor text. You can leave it whole, or you can tear parts of it. I think I'm going to tear the ends today instead of the whole thing. There we go. I'm going to leave the top and bottom straight. You can do whatever floats your boat. And then another scribble of glue. I'm going to pop that into place. Now let's go back down to our flap. And we have this floral tab. We're going to apply that right here to the bottom of this little flip up to indicate that there's action that can happen there. I like to do a little visual cue. So I'm going to make sure there is glue on the rectangular ends. Make sure there's glue on both sides, and then that there's plenty of glue in the middle so it'll stay together. And I'm going to pinch that right over it. So now we have this pretty double-sided tab. We're going to add another embellishment. We have the teacup and this little ribbon. And we're going to place those here as an accent piece. Now you can leave the ribbon loose if you want, just glue it at the top, or you can glue it all the way down. I'm going to glue mine at the top for a little bit of flutter. And then I'm going to glue the teacup down all the way. Little accent piece there. Next we have this card. I've printed mine, so it's front and back, and there is a tab to go on that. This one is dark and moody because we've created a Gothic library in the dining room. And again, glue on those little rectangular ends, and then the center of it can have a little bit less. And I'm just going to pinch that over the top. And we can tuck this right down inside. Make sure your pocket glue is dry. Make sure everything is dry before you put things into your pockets, or else you might glue your pieces in. Now we have another tag. I believe that's right, it's right side up. This one is just going to slide in with it. And then let's flip up. We have our journal entry, and I'm going to fold that in half this way, tuck that into our pocket. And our final piece is this kind of transformation, the candelabra from a fancy dining room to something more Gothic and mysterious. So this is just going to fold in half. And this is a great opportunity if you like to be more creative and you want to insert some pages into this the same way we put pages into our journal. Kind of punch a hole, tie some string, have some pages. This could be a great notebook to add in here. Otherwise, I'm going to glue mine shut and just use it as a tag. Make sure you glue it thoroughly. A glue stick would work well here as well, just for some better coverage. And I'm going to pop that in so that we can do the reveal. So it's the dining room and then the Gothic. I tried to play with transformations in this series. And there you have it. That is it for part 5 of Written in Ink. I hope that you continue to find the story at least a little bit entertaining and that you're excited to see what happens next. We're going to be doing part 6 next week, and I can't wait to share that with you. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.